We thank you for adjusting the time for us today. I've got an empty classroom, but we got them watching online with us, and we'll have some questions from them as we go along. Hopefully, we'll get done before this weather starts. But this is being recorded for our senior class of 2022 here at Velma Jackson High School. They are about 7 weeks from graduating, and we talked about as they've gone through the basics of banking, but some of them just haven't been aware or haven't been told about the different services banks can offer, why it's needed, why it is imperative. A lot of jobs now you're going to have a bank account just to get a paycheck. We all use Cash App, and it does, and Venmo, and they do have their place in a certain aspect of life. I know I use it on occasion, but that is not the smart way to properly manage your money on a full-time basis. So I'll let you take it away. And like I said, we'll have some questions as well. But again, thank you for joining us. Katrena Thompson, Citizens Bank in Ridgeland, Mississippi.
Much. Thank you for inviting me, and let's get started. Just a little bit about me. You already said my name is Katrena Thompson. I'm the deposit banking officer at the Citizens Bank in Ridgeland. I'm married to my husband, Monty. We have 3 kids and 2 dogs. I'm from H-Town. Go Cougars. They didn't pull it through, but it's okay. It's all right. And I attended Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee. There are many benefits to of owning or having a checking account. One of them is security. Having your money in a bank alleviates the need of having all cash on hand or stored in your house. I know a lot of us grew up with grandma, and she had a little spot in her house under the carpet, and that's where her money went. But if there's a fire, if there's some type of unfortunate mishap, your money is gone. It's not protected. If you have it in a bank, a traditional bank, you can access those funds whenever you need to by going to the ATM or coming to the bank and visiting people like me. Another way is direct deposits, mobile deposits. When you have a job, I'm pretty sure, I think on Cash App, you can do direct deposits through Cash App, and that's great. But I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I have Cash App. I really don't use it, but they are tied to some type of bank account in some cases. And your job can deposit your check to your account. It's safer there, it's better, and we'll get to why I say that it's safer there, just in the direct deposit realm. If your job does not offer direct deposit, you're able to make deposits to your account through your mobile device. You can do that deposit whenever you want, 1 o'clock in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. You can make that deposit whenever you like. I think I did see something where Cash App, you can go to Dollar General and make cash deposits at Cash App. That to me is unsafe.
I don't trust that.
I don't either, because then you would have to trust the person that's working at the Dollar General. But direct deposits and mobile deposits, those are important. Your account, your checking account, some types, not all, can earn interest. But those types of accounts, you would have to meet certain requirements to earn interest. But if you open a savings account, that will earn you interest, which is pretty cool when the rates are great. When I said that it's safe, your account is insured up to $250,000 by the FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. By that, if the bank fails, you will get whatever, you won't get $250,000, but whatever you have as your balance in your account, that's what you will get. Your money is protected. Some of these apps, your money is not protected. If that company fails, so does your money. It's gone. There is no recourse. Another one is having a relationship with a bank. It allows you to gain access to loans, credit cards, and building wealth. when you come in and you sit down in our office or you just talk to a teller, you're able to learn different things that you wouldn't just get by just reading. They can inform you of different things, different products, different services that can help you be, more better with your money, how to grow your money, how to protect your money, how to build your credit, different things like that. At some point, Cash App and those other ones are great to have, but at some point you will want a car loan.
Yep.
You will want a home loan. At some point, you might not at 18, but when you're 25, 23, when you're graduating from college or whatever your path is in life, you will want to have access to those products.
Yep.
And banks offer those every day, all day. Banks are convenient. You can have access to your paycheck and other deposits instantly. Sometimes it depends on the balances that you keep, if those are available immediately. And then sometimes it could be just based on different factors of why that money will be made available immediately. But you're also able to pay your bills, which will alleviate you from going to get money orders and other methods, or going to Kroger or Walmart to cash your check and paying a fee. Then you can just have your check direct deposit to your account.
Yep.
And you can also make online purchases with your debit card or through your account as well. If you have, I'm not sure how that works, if there is a problem, if you do use your Cash App, and I keep saying that word, bank card, to make purchases and dealing with those disputes, I'm not quite comfortable only dealing with someone through communication, through a chat. I think that's a great mechanism to have, but sometimes you need to have, hey, Katrena, can you look at this for me? I get that all of the time. Or you can call any 800 number and speak to anyone by phone. Sometimes some of these services that are provided that's really neat to have are not the best for you in the future. They're great for you right now, but not in the future. And as you're graduating,
they definitely have their place for small things, but yeah, I agree. Or being able to come down and sit down and talk face to face about an issue. I've had that issue before.
Right. I talk to a lot of kids when we do have the Reward A's program here, and I'm going to have a packet, and I did not have an opportunity to bring things to the school yet for the seniors.
That's fine.
But we do have where every A that you earn, you can enter that. It doesn't matter what the class is. Every A that you earn, bring your report card in, enter it, and you can win a scholarship. That's every 9 weeks. I know it has to be what's current, not what happened last year. It's every 9 weeks.
Yeah.
But with that being said, when students come in and they bring those in, if they want to open an account, we don't have a problem educating them about the do's and the don'ts, what to do, what not to do. Not that we're your mom, but we want you to have a positive start.
Yeah, absolutely.
A positive start. And then the other thing is proof. Your bank can provide proof of any payment. There may be at some point where you would have to show, yeah, I did do that. I'm not quite certain how that works on these apps, but in the bank, you can come in, we can print that out for you. We can stamp it with that bank stamp and say, yes, this is a true, authentic, this did happen. You will need that. Even more so when you're applying for a home loan, that happens all the time.
Yeah, because you would need the certified checks and the cashier's checks, things like that would have to be given to for a down payment on a mortgage. That would have to come from some financial institution.
That's right. And when applying for a loan or a credit card, the bank can also provide information that your credit report does not report, such as your checking and savings account balances, any CDs that you may have, certificates of deposits, and any other types of investments. So we offer a wheelhouse of products and services that can help you in all aspects of your life. Just come on in, find someone, interview a banker that you feel comfortable with. Go to banks and just look around and see, do they have these products? Ask questions. And when you do find that, then, open up your account, read your brochures, you'll get one, and just see all the products that we have or that any bank has that can help you get to where you need to be.
Yeah, and with the, obviously, and we keep talking about the apps, but that's what this generation knows, and the world's getting more and more technological. There's apps that can tie to your bank account to let you know when money's coming in and out.
That's correct.
It can let you know if there's been any fraudulent activity, so you can handle that before it gets out of hand. So there is still that technological app aspect that everybody is so comfortable with, but it's important that it's tied to a real financial institution.
Correct. And I didn't mention that on here, but I wrote text and email alerts, but you do have the app. And it tells you everything that you need to know about all of your relationship with us, your checking, your savings, your loans, whatever account or relationship that you have with a bank, it will be on that app. Some customers, they want to be texted or be able to text, what's my balance? What's my last 5 transactions that's cleared? Some customers, they want to be emailed those things or text to say, did you just go to Kroger and spend $42.39? And then you'll look at it and you'll say, no, I didn't. That's a great way to say, hey, let me call Katrena, or let me call my banker, or let me download the app, and let them know there's some fraudulent activity on my account. There's many ways that you can have access to the information that you need to know about your money and how to grow your money and how just to watch it and just be a better, I guess, what is it? Just a better steward of your money.
Yeah.
And then also, I believe one of the main reasons, the best reason in having a relationship with a bank, a traditional bank, is having a checking account allows you to become a better planner of your funds. Cash App to me is just something quick. Let me send this money to him. Let me get this money from her. That's all that it mostly is.
I agree.
When you have an account at a traditional bank, you're able to log down your transactions, your negatives and your positives. You're able to see how much money do you genuinely have. And then you can also have a savings account that ties to that, where you can also earn money that way through your save money, not earn money, with that added savings account. But a bank offers so much more. And here's another slide. Here are just some of the few products that you can get at a bank. A checking account. Now, when I say checking, there's so many different types of checking accounts. There's, ones that earn money, ones that don't, some that are just simple, basic, some that are for seniors. There's so many different kinds. Some that are for, as far as for the savings accounts, that's next. There are some savings accounts where whenever you swipe your card, if you go to McDonald's, which I know they don't do anymore, the 4 for $4, where it's $4.32, that extra 68 cents will then transfer over to your savings account, and it's helping you to grow and save your money automatically. Because sometimes it might be hard when you get your check to put that $50 in there, because it's real tempting, because you got to go to, what is it? I don't know what the kids do. My son likes to go bowling all of the time. Or go play pool all of the time. Or get your hair done and get your nails done and all these other things. You have Christmas, some banks, not all, have Christmas club accounts where you can designate a certain amount of your money every month to go to an account. And at the end of, I think, November, or maybe the beginning, all of that money that you save, you can get that in a check and you can buy your Christmas gifts or whatever, if that's you want to use it as a vacation.
Wow.
People do different things. Bank accounts have debit cards, just like you have your card that goes to your, the apps that most kids like to use. Banks have a debit card, and that debit card is tied to your checking account. And every time you swipe, that money either is going to instantaneously come out of your checking account, or it will at some point come out of your checking account. That's why it's great to write it down, log it down, and just have a genuine idea of what you're spending and what will come out of your account. But when you sit down with the banker, if you're new to banking, they should, or I know I do, I break it down. Online banking, mobile banking. If you if you don't have apps and you don't like apps, there are some kids, very few far between, that may not like apps and they just want to log on to the bank itself, www. You can log on into your account and look at it that way. For those who say, no, I don't want, I like the apps, you can use the mobile banking and you can look at your account or your relationships that way. If you need to pay a bill, let's just say if mom says, okay, you're 18 now, the cheapest bill in the house is the water bill. It's 20, well, at my house, it's the cheapest bill. It's $25 about. That's your bill. Now, I know in Jackson, that's somewhere else. I'm not sure how it is in.
But we're all Madison County people up here. We ain't got to worry about all that stuff.
You did what now?
We're Madison County people up here. We ain't got to deal with all that stuff going on down there.
I hear you. But if you had to pay a bill,
yeah,
you can just do that through your app and they will mail a check or send it ACH to whoever you have to. You don't have to pay for a stamp. You don't have to mail it. You can tell it what date to pay it and how often you pay it. It's just, it can be automatic. Electronic statements, some people, and I would say maybe more so your older generation, my husband, he still wants to have the statement that comes in the mail so he can look at it. Some people just say, no, I want to be able to look at that statement through my online banking whenever I want.
Yep.
And looking at your statement is very important because you need to see if any fraudulent activity happened, any transactions that you may not have done or that may have come out twice that you may not have been aware of. But those statements, those are things that you can get with a bank account that I'm pretty sure you don't get with apps.
Yeah, and you would be shocked. Oh, I mean, I know you wouldn't be shocked, but they would be shocked about how many times you have to go back and pull up when you purchase something. I've had to go back months or even years, but everything you make in the bank account is documented. There's no disputing it. It's going to be in that record forever. So you're always able to go back and see, I paid this much on this date. If a company or bill will say, oh, you didn't pay this, you can go back and look and see. You can see when money was put in, when money was taken out. And it's always going to be there for your reference. And it's unbelievably important to know that. And I'm telling them, it is crazy how much you will have to do that in your life. I have had to do it more times than I can imagine. And sometimes it's something small, but it's been times it's something big. Especially when you're getting on some serious financial issues.
That's correct. That's very correct. I mentioned earlier about the text message banking. Most banks have that. You can do your person-to-person payments, which is like Cash App, but it could be, some banks use Zelle. We use C2C. Phone teller for maybe people that's more your grandma's age, maybe. Every once in a while I'll use phone teller. If you don't have Wi-Fi or if your phone isn't working, internet, whatever, Wi-Fi is not working on your phone, but you just really need to know what your balance is, you can still call the 800 number and you can go through the automated prompts just to hear what the balance is, or you can go to a customer service person through the phone teller and they can tell you what your balance is and what the transactions that are posted. Banks have CDs, certificate of deposit. Those are pretty cool. Where you put a lump sum of money at one time, and then there are different products that you can add to it. But just for the sake of being simple and easy, you put a lump sum in and you designate it to stay there for whatever the term is, 3 months, 6 months, 12. And then at the end of that term, you get your money back plus what little interest or what interest that it may have earned. Those are pretty cool. IRAs, if at some point you will need that. Safe deposit boxes. Those, we have those at our branch. A lot of people have those to keep whatever they choose to keep in there. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Most of the time it could be valuables, it could be documents, different things is that. Those are things that we encourage you to keep, not something else. Most banks, when you have a relationship with a bank, you can have access to applying for a credit card, personal loans, if you want to buy let's say, we have someone came in the other day to apply for an engagement ring. They wanted a loan to propose to their girlfriend. Another could be an automobile loan. Those are important. And then home loans. But I really encourage you to stop by, interview, look at, get information at whatever bank that you choose, and see what they have to offer, or look on their website. Some things may not even be listed on the website, and you would have to just communicate with a person at a bank just to see what other information, what other things that are out there. But as you get older and when you graduate, you will need to transition. Not that you still can't have, but you need to transition to a more stable, protected, safe way of banking. And that is it.
All right. Well, and I do have some questions from the kids, but I had a few.
Okay.
That's and that was great, and that was great information. Hold on, I'm freezing up here.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. All right, but that was some great information. But you know, all these kids are about to graduate, and
Right.
and it's more of a generational thing. It's a cultural thing. You know, the rural community, especially the rural Black community, seems to have this cultural, generational belief of untrust of the financial institutions, and a lot of that is with good reason, or if you look at the ways of the past. But how important is it to know that there are people like you in the area that are there to help them and to help them set up their financial goals, because of the way the world is changing, the way employment changes, the way schools are paid for, all that. This is going to be something they're going to have to be familiar. You don't have to be an expert. You got to be familiar with this, because you can find yourself in a world of trouble not understanding how this stuff works.
Right. Well, once again, as I said, it's important to go into, if you're in the Ridgeland area, come see me and Valerie. We'll be more than happy to help you walk through the process. I understand that it's very scary if it's something that you're not used to. If it's something you may not have seen growing up. And I get that. As for me, we went to the bank every Saturday, so I kind of was used to seeing it. But there are people that want to help you, educate you, walk you through those steps, help you fill out those forms, tell you, hey, this is how you avoid this fee by doing this, or don't do that. As I said, when the kids would come in to turn in their report cards, and if they want to talk about a checking account, hey, this product would fit best for you. You have to find someone, and I'm pretty sure they're at the banks. You just have to go inside and talk, get information, and find someone that you feel comfortable with, and then build on that relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Now I do want to get to some of these questions, because I know we are short on time and we want to beat the weather. But these are all seniors, and I'm glad they're thinking about this stuff. But this is Carson Day. And he's about to go to Northeast Community College and play football.
Nice.
He's our Mr. Belma Jackson. But he said, what are some of the biggest issues that you see when it comes to college students and banking?
Most college students, I find, they don't log down their transactions. They just look at their balance. Yep, that's what I've got. And they just swipe, and they're not looking to see, did this transaction clear? Did this one come in yet? That's one of the biggest misconceptions, that looking at your balance, that is the true balance. You have to budget, you have to log it down, and you have to see, did it clear? Coming in, finding a banker that you're comfortable with, they can walk you through those steps. But that's one of the biggest things, looking at your balance and thinking, that's my true balance.
Yeah, and especially if you have a check floating, And I hate writing checks, and it's not that it's inconvenient, but I hate being at the mercy of somebody I have to wait for them to wait for them to cash it. It's just, and I'm a very impatient person.
I understand.
I mean, sometimes if I know they're going to have it quick, but yeah, but you got to be aware of that. I have to. I wrote a check for this much. I don't have that much that I'm showing in my account, and people make that mistake all the time, and they wind up in a world of hurt. Then stuff starts getting bounced. Then we start getting hit with overdraft fees, and you find yourself in a serious financial hole that can turn out. It can go from $500 to $500 in a great big hurry.
That's correct.
It's tough to get out of that, and especially when you're 18, 19 years old.
That's why most of the time I just advise them, don't write checks.
I only do when I have to. Only do when I have to. Just it's so annoying. I mean, you're almost better off getting a money order just because.
Well, most of for the young ones, I just don't write checks.
Yeah, I only do when I have to. I'm 40 years old, and I still don't like writing just because
I hear you.
It's a pain in the butt. Now this is Corlin Murray, and she asked, "What age do you recommend someone getting their first credit card?"
Honestly, they do come time you go to college, they start sending those applications in. On the surface, I will say when you feel that you are mentally and financially prepared to take on that task. And before you do, talk with a banker so that they can walk you through different scenarios based on the current budget and your current income that you have at that time. But I think once you have graduated college, I think that's a good time. But sometimes you may not can, you might not can wait until then, but more so when you are mentally ready to take on that task of a card, because it's really easy to get, they're really convenient, and $25 a month sounds great until you don't have $25 a month or you forget to pay it. And then you have additional fees that happen, and when you're mentally ready.
Yeah, and along the same lines, and I say this to every class: the last thing somebody needs is one of these store credit cards. That is the biggest racket and biggest scam in the United States, and it ought to be illegal. But other than student loans, it's the biggest racket in the United States. But that's the way they get. They get these college students. They say you can get 10% off on your purchase today, 20% off on your purchase today. We'll give you a free T-shirt. We'll do this. We'll do that, and nobody reads the fine print. Right. That is a huge hole to fall into. Now, I mean, the credit cards to the banks are the ones that, if you're going to get the credit card, the ones you need to stick to.
Right. The fine print is the most important print. That's a good thing to go by. The fine print is the most important.
Yeah. So all you guys that like to buy shoes all the time, and all you girls that like to buy the clothes all the time, don't let them talk you into buying to get one of those cards. Now, if you want to go shop there, that's fine. Buy what you want, but make sure you're staying in your budget doing it. Don't let them scam you out of even more money. I'm serious. Like it's an epidemic of stuff going on. Then this is Jasmine Williamson. She is our Miss Velma Jackson. Planning to go to the Air Force. Nice. She's curious about your career, and she wants to know what type of degrees you got going to Fisk University and continuing on from there.
Well, that's an interesting question. I went to Fisk in 1990. My major at the time was pre-law. I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. And I stayed there for 2 years. Then I went back home because my dad was sick and dying. And life happened, and I did not complete my degree, which would have been great to tell the kids, Mr. Pye did on the other one, that you can work up to where you need to be or where you want to be. But for her, that's great that she's going to the Air Force. She's a smart girl. Yeah. And hopefully she'll continue to go on and do great things.
Yeah, she's going to be able to go to college for free as well. She's
that's
going for the adventure and getting the GI Bill. So she wants to be a nurse. Be a nurse, but she was just curious about that. And then for those that don't know, Fisk is an HBCU in Nashville.
That's right.
So we have some between the HBCU, PWI, the way and the pros and cons, but Fisk is not cheap. Private school, HBCU, PWI, they're not cheap, and they're even more so now.
No. This was not cheap back then. I did go on a scholarship. And I enjoyed my time there. My dad got sick with cancer. He died, and I came back home to be with my mom and help
It's
her
a
out.
beautiful campus. I used to live in the Nashville area. Absolutely beautiful campus.
Yeah, and like I told you last time I met my husband, he went to Tennessee State, another HBCU. Our youngest daughter, she goes to Tennessee State, and our oldest daughter graduated from FIS, so she completed what I wasn't able to do. And now she goes to Jackson State getting her master's degree. So we believe in HBCUs in our family.
Yeah, and a lot of our kids, we have some go to HBCUs, but they have the whole idea of I've been around Black people my whole life. I want to do something else. But the benefits of HBCUs in a lot of cases can be very great educationally, and a lot of them are more affordable than the PWI. So there's definitely pros and cons to that. Now this is Kendrick Lindsay, and this is kind of funny. He's a goofball, but he's a good kid. He asked, "What's the craziest purchase you have ever seen someone make it in a bank?"
I don't know what. Some of the things that some customers do for hunting, I don't, maybe because I'm not a hunter.
I'm not either.
I don't like deer meat. I don't, but that's a sport there that, you've got to have money, I guess, to do it. What I saw my grandfather do in Louisiana, didn't seem he needed all these gadgets and different things to go out there and pull it back. And I don't know, but spending thousands and thousands of dollars on gadgets to hunt to me is different. I'm not saying it's crazy. It's just different because I guess I'm not a hunter.
Yeah, that is very difficult. Now and also, but also briefly want to talk about, we have some that may be kind of unsure about their career path. Banking is always looking for people to get involved in it, and we have some that have kids already, or some that want to have kids. It's very easy to balance a family and be in the banking industry.
Yes,
talk a little
especially
about the hours.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just talk a little bit about the hours, hours you guys have, and how it's easy to balance that, and the holidays and everything.
Now, when I worked at a different bank, those hours were much longer. They were from 7 and they close at 6. Some banks, they don't open until 8:30 and they close at 4:30, and then on Fridays they close at 5. My bank is not open on weekends, so at 5 o'clock on Friday, I'm done. It's wonderful. It allows you to spend time with your family. You can maybe take your kids to school comfortably and not have to worry about fighting to get to work because it opens at 8:30. But I'm here long before that. But we're always looking for tellers, bankers, different things as that. And to get into banking, to be a teller, it's important to have cash handling experience. So if you work at Sonic, McDonald's, Taco Bell, that counts. Yeah. If you work at the gas station, the grocery store, Dollar General, it counts.
Yeah, and then and I agree. That customer facing skills is important, but you could also transfer out of banking using that experience to get into another industry, because there is the face to face things that businesses like to see. There is the cash handling experience that businesses like to see, and then you'd have some software experience dealing with the banking software. So there's always looking for people to get in, but there's also skills you can learn if you don't want to do it full time.
That's correct.
Or
That's correct. That's correct. It's a great field. It's a great industry. There's so many different things other than working just in the bank, but there's so many other jobs that's in the background, customer service on the phone. There's so many.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, before we go, first of all, again, tell us where you're located and how they need to come see you if they're interested in opening any accounts.
I'm at the Citizens Bank, not Citizens National. The Citizens Bank in Ridgeland. I'm on Highway 51, down the street from Sonic. My name's Katrena Thompson. You can call me 601-519-4020. We love to see you or hear from you.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, before we go, and I know I asked you this before, but We got all right now watching with us, and all that's going to watch this later are young Black kids in Mississippi, and you're a great Black professional leader in the area, and you've faced the same obstacles they're going to face growing up, and you've become extremely successful as a professional, dealing with some great financial issues that everybody needs help with. So they're graduating in just a few weeks. So what can they start to do now, knowing that you were in their shoes, looking the same way they do, dealing with the same issues, to be just as successful as someone like you?
I will find you someone that can mentor you. I think you are a great mentor, Mr. Hbcus. I would find someone in the field that you think you want to go into. I would volunteer in areas where you see people that look like you, want to do something that you might want to do one day. And just get out and just ask. Just ask.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Katrena, we thank you so much, and we thank you for adjusting the schedule with the weather. I hope you stay dry today. This is some great information. And again, thank you so much for making some time for us. And again, I would just cannot stress the importance of being financially sound and being involved in a real financial institution as you graduate high school and move into college and career.
It is. Come and see me.
I'll tell them. Thank you so much. Have a great.
You take care. Bye-bye.